streets is not a thing. It don't exist.
Go backstage, cry for help.
It's the Steiner section.
Am I repping the match?
Is black.
It is your boy Jackson Steiner. What the fuck am I saying?
No. Am I repping the match? African Americana.
Oh my lord. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Jackson Steiner. Welcome back to the Roblania Network. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TAMZ King. Welcome to the show, man.
What's up? How's everyone, man? You good?
Tell me a little bit about what's going on with the Showtime Roblox. You know, ever since you announced that you had an announcement coming way back when, and then you announced Showtime Clash of the Titans pay-per-view, and then you recently announced the match that's headlining the pay-per-view in Vicious, Diddy, and Isaac Mercury going to battle. Tell me about this, how it all started, and yeah, just explain.
The event itself was more of a it was more of like a thing to me where I looked at Ro-Wrestling and I was like, there's a big gap. What I meant by that is, like, to me, the idea of an excitement of a pay-per-view, like an excitement of wrestling, or like what wrestling is based off, slowly fading away from the clean atmosphere, where it's like how clean was like the destination of everything entertainment, and to me that was slipping away. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make this shit fun again. So to me, I think the only way I could have done that was give people the match that like was gonna sell out an arena, pretty much. So the Diddy and Isaac match originally was like a whole. It was a joke at first because I remember talking to both of them like a year ago about it, and obviously at the time we thought this is this is never gonna happen. There is absolutely no way this match could happen. Like, it just didn't make sense. And then time went by and I'm like, you know, Isaac's retired now. Diddy's been retired. You know, they at the time they are still two of the best wrestlers currently. I can tell you that right now. But I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make a special event. And I thought, you know what, that's the match I want people to go to. So that's the idea. The idea is to pretty much bring excitement back, inspire young Fed owners, because I'm pretty sure, you know, the way wrestling grows is like this. RCW, RW, APRW, you know, you look at those Feds and they inspired a lot of people like WWE, PPW, even, you know, a lot of other Feds. And I don't see that right now, 2021. So I gotta set the example for people. So that's the way I see it.
So is Showtime Roblox is it like an alliance, a federation? What is this exactly? Because it's a little bit confusing to some people.
It's pretty much a if I was to summarize it, probably be like, I used to do, obviously you guys know I used to do stuff with RWA.
Yes.
And to me, I felt, you know, I kind of wanted my own thing, mainly because, you know, I had issues there, and you know, I'm sure all those guys are nice guys. You know, I just had an issue with some people there, so I thought, if I'm gonna do an event, I kind of want to do it under my own branch. You know, Ace Dylan as well. He was down for it, so I thought, you know what, I'll do it under my own thing, and that way, you know, I can have this 100% say, or everything's down to my decision to do an event. Like before the RW is very good because everyone has to have a say in what happens. But to me, I was like, I want to do a big event, and I thought, you know, maybe doing an RWA is it's a little, you know, I don't know. It to me, I just felt it made more sense doing it myself. But I also think like Showtime could also turn out to be something like more of a network in a way, where like, because I'm obviously someone that just, you know, wakes up one day and is like, you know what, I want to do this. So I thought, let me just have a brand under it, you know? And just have an official. To me, RWA was like a way of me hosting events. I was not really involved in the RWA. I just told them, look, I'll do 2 events or 1 event, or, you know, help those guys out. Because I used to be in the RWA with my other Fed. And so yeah, I'm grateful for, you know, the times that they gave me. And the fact that they let me do 2 events, 3 events actually in total, it's kind of cool.
So yeah, working for the RWA and now doing Showtime. I'm sure it's not that big of a transition since you've had multiple feds in the past, but you yourself are a legend in pro wrestling, and especially in GMT. How do you think the current state of GMT pro wrestling is today?
I've said it before, and in the RDW, I said that today was a good day, considering DXW and EWF did the joint pay per view, and I think you need to continue doing stuff like that, or like where two feds like they gotta join together to do stuff because GMT is small right now. How do you get things bigger? You join small people up, and eventually you'll get 50 out of 50. Eventually you'll get the big ratings. You can't exactly, you know, expect a full server by yourself every week. What you gotta do is you gotta join people together. Two heads are, better than one. That's the way I see GMT right now. You gotta join together. Feds like CW and UKW, they don't count to GMT feds in my opinion, because they were bigger. They were so much bigger. CW and UKW, they didn't need to join with other feds. But these guys right now, I think they have to. They have to. I think they're gonna have to swallow their pride, and they're gonna have to, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you try to run a pay per view knowing you're not gonna hit 50 out of 50, or you're not gonna hit a full server? Cool, you can say you're gonna do it for fun, but I just see a lot of complaining, like from most GMT federations. So to me, it's just a simple solution. Whether or not people want to take that solution, I don't know. But today was a good step for them.
As GMT World Wrestling continues to push forward, and World Wrestling as a whole, I feel as I've watched, on Twitter, seeing the post by Showtime and you retweeting and the engagement on the results, I have to admit it is really intriguing to see how you can get so much attention on something, let alone on a pay per view and a match. Tell me, especially now that I think about this, why you chose to set the pay per view in December and you announced the pay per view in August.
To me, it just didn't make sense doing it before. Obviously, December is usually a period of wrestling, and this is where like I think people need to understand like wrestling is kind of like an algorithm. You're gonna have people retire in October, Septemberish time, like as you're seeing right now because of school and other stuff, work commitments. And to me, I was like, okay, first of all, this is a new thing. This is a new product, and people are gonna. It's not. It's not a fit. I'm not gonna have weekly shows to build this up. And to me, also another thing is, it's gonna take a lot of time, considering I want to build people up that aren't high card status as well. So you gotta. That's gonna have to take a few months. It doesn't happen overnight. So like some fans are trying to build people up overnight and give them a free world title, or I think the WWE format as well. Like if you notice, the WWE format was pretty much like grab this guy, and this tomorrow he's gonna go for the world title. If he's unsuccessful, he's not doing anything again. It's like that kind of thing where it's like it's gonna take a few months to build some of these guys, and to me, the longer something is, the better it's gonna be, because I'm gonna have some months, a lot of months to work on an arena. Like it's just gonna be the longer the pay per view is for me at least, or the more time I have on something, the better it's gonna be. That's the way I see it.
I've always, an indie Fed owner reaches out to me or Ash on advice. I feel like the best thing you can give them is to always try to produce long storylines, because when you produce a long story, you get a lot of fan interaction with it and they become invested. And, eventually leading up to the event, it will culminate in that big match and everyone will be watching. Um, so tell me, how do you think this event will play out from the fans' perspective?
I think it's gonna be something for everyone, because you think about it this way, right? Some federations in wrestling like to focus on, you know, long-term storylines, building people up from the ground to something. You have feds like AXW doing storyline-driven things. And you used to have WWE, the whole idea of, constant hype, bringing back people just to see how the crowd reacts and stuff like that. So to me, it's a little bit of everything. And obviously, I'll give you some exclusives in a bit, and like in the chat, and you'll see kind of the way this is gonna go. It's gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be a mix. That's what I'll say. It's gonna be a mix, and that's the best thing of it. If I'm trying to do the best preview of the year, I gotta cater to everyone. You can't do that in pro wrestling. You can make a show that everyone can enjoy. You can't do that. Whether or not like everyone will be happy, you know, that that's up to the people that watch my show. But I can definitely cater towards everyone, where I can say this match is for you, this match is for you, this match is for you, kind of thing.
As a lot of the Showtime information comes out more and more, and as the story for Isaac and Diddy continues, will this pay per view feature any matches from other federations, or will Showtime be producing any other matches for itself?
I DM Mollups the other day. We might get the RW title on it. That's something I'll tell you. We might get the RW title on it. I definitely 100% want to get the RWA women's title on it, and I think that's going to be the easiest to do. So I will say there'll probably be a RWA women's title match.
The RWA women's title?
So yeah, because I have to. It's just to me, there's just so much. And like so much potential for that. Like to me, like this is a very good year for women, bro. Like the women could actually like bang Pro Wrestling.
Honestly,
like they could literally.
I was.
They are carrying Pro Wrestling right now. I'm telling you right now, the women are carrying Pro Wrestling right now.
I was watching Roblox WWE's Money in the Bank pay per view, and I found it very appreciative how Sam and Teddy were also able to include women in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And to be honest, that match in itself was amazing. So
yeah, I saw that.
How do you think women's wrestling is improving in real life, and how do you think it's also relaying over to Ro Wrestling?
I think because in real life, right, you're gonna pretty much take them more seriously than you would in like 2010, for example, right?
Yes.
So the way it is, it's like I think this is part of the reason why it's like this. It's because of UFC. I think UFC was the reason why WWE did the Women's Revolution. Because you have to remember, UFC had women like Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm, those kind of names. WWE looked over and be like, you know what, I kind of want me some of that. So I think WWE got it from UFC, and Pro Wrestling got it from WWE. That's the fun way I look at it. So in Pro Wrestling, at least, the women's division, I think it's actually significantly more than the men's at this current point, as in feds. I go to some feds and I see more women than I do men, for example, right? So I think because there's a lot more, it's more of a grind. Because you have to remember, like, some feds only have like probably that one woman's belt. If anything, one woman's belt, one tag. That's 3 people that can hold the title realistically, right? Maybe 2 if they hold both. So they gotta try a bit more. Because they're trying a bit more, the quality is better. Because no woman is holding a fucking belt in a fed and just treating it as if like it's a stepping stone. It can't be a stepping stone, because that's the most you can win.
Yeah.
You're at the top. So people under you, they can only see your belts. Like, if you're a male wrestler, you have like an option of 6 belts to go for 7 belts. Some people, they gotta look at the RWE, bro. The RWE women's division is fucked. Everyone's gonna have to look at April. Everyone's gonna look at April and be like, yeah, if I want to win an RWE title women's belt, I gotta go for April. Imagine how April's feeling right now. April feels like, she's on top of the world. Like, she probably thinks, yo, I'm the fucking Conor McGregor. I'm the Floyd Mayweather of this shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think the women's are so good right now. Because there's so little to win, they're all a bit more hungrier. So that's the way I see it.
So focusing on this pay per view in December, you talked about how you wanted a big marquee match for everyone to be invested in and watch. Now tell me, you had plenty of options.
Yeah.
You have plenty of options to choose from legendary road wrestlers to go at it. But why did you specifically choose this match, Diddy and Isaac?
Isaac Mercury is probably, I guess, if you guys watch football, he's probably the Kylian Mbappe or the Erling Braut Haaland of pro wrestling, where he's done so much in such a short time. And to me, Diddy, yeah, I don't think you guys realize Diddy was probably most of the high card's idol right now. Like, if you think about it, Diddy's been alive for a while. He started pro wrestling in 2014, 2013. And people like Damon looked up to Diddy, bro. Damon based like pretty much most of his attires off Diddy. So Diddy's legendary in himself. But the reason I thought, you know what, Isaac and Diddy would be really good is because the narrative it is Isaac walked out APRW Mania as our APRW champion. Diddy walked out UKW Mania as UKW World Champion. So to me, both their careers are done. Let's not pretend like this is their career right now. To them, it's something they can add on. If Isaac beats Diddy, I think it adds to Isaac's list of people that he's beaten to prove that he is the greatest of all time. If Diddy beats Isaac, people are gonna seriously have to reconsider who they see as the top five, top three, because Diddy's name isn't really mentioned as much. Even though like he's never out equipped, he's never cheated, that kind of stuff. But the most important thing, people know that probably Isaac could sweep Diddy, right? Because Diddy hasn't wrestled in 2 years. Isaac has just won a GMT World Title in front of Diddy's face. But the thing is about Diddy, he has a history of being people that he shouldn't be beating. People like TM Punk, people like Clutcher. When Clutcher was on his prime, when Clutcher Dragon was on his prime with both the GMT World Titles, and he beat him twice. It's like beating Thanos twice. He's beaten Thanos twice.
Yeah.
So he beats people that he's not meant to beat. If you put Isaac in front of him, he's not gonna give a fuck. He's just gonna do it as it is, and if he wins, what a moment, right? What a fucking moment. It's about the moment. Those two are looking for the moment. Those two are looking for. If they're gonna do it, they're gonna have to do it big, kind of thing. So that's what they're looking for. So that's probably why. Yeah.
Continue.
Oh, that's why I think that's the match that should happen, because Diddy's return is the way like everyone wants and nobody's gonna get it. And Diddy's never gonna fucking return to wrestling. You're not gonna get it. But when you can get from Diddy, one match, and that's the match you're gonna have to give him, because there's nothing else you can give Diddy that's worth his time. Same with Isaac. You can't give Isaac anything that's worth his time. The only thing that's worth each other's time is each other. Like the Diddy is worth Isaac's time. Isaac is worth Diddy's time. That's why that's the only match that can happen. For both of them at least.
Well, Tasman, I appreciate you coming on this diner section. I do have one more question for you, but before we do, I just do want to say to the viewers that this winter, Showtime Roblox Clash of Titans. This winter, it's going to be Diddy versus Isaac. Taz, do you have any personal thoughts on this matchup?
Just be excited. There's also other things that's gonna come over the next few weeks. Obviously, the RPW and Showtime events soon as well, 26th, and that's gonna have a lot of matches
Sunday.
announced.
Sunday, 26th of December, 26th of December, 2021 is RPW crossover. And you can expect a big Showtime announcement.
I could give you guys a few exclusive right now in the chat, just to keep it a secret.
Okay.
Just keep it a secret.
Well,
I'll show you a few signings we got in the works. Okay, we got.
All right. Well, anyways, I won't leak anything. Don't worry.
Anyways. Yeah, hold on. 1 second.
Anyways, question I have for you, Mr. King. You've been around Road Wrestling for quite some time. You're a legend in the community.
Yeah.
as you look at the current state of pro wrestling, obviously it's been tainted by the fact of many federations have come and gone, and some are still here, but obviously the community is steadily declining. Tell me, how do you think pro wrestling could possibly be saved, or do you think it's not even dying at all and it's probably at its peak? Tell me, what do you think?
I think mainstream wise, it's on the decline. But at the same time, you gotta remember, most of these feds are small. They're just building up. But but the way people see it, it's I can't get my head around it. The way people see things like, oh, well, wrestling is dead because there's no number one feds right now. Like to me, that doesn't make sense. Because obviously there's not, because all of them pretty much are gone. Like when WWE went, I kind of knew it was gonna happen. Like when APW ended and people looked at WWE as like the next big thing, I knew WWE was gonna be a bit of a transitional fed. But obviously there's not gonna be a number one right now because most people are retiring, right? Like when a number one fed ends, people retire, and you gotta build again. The thing about RCW ending when APW picked up is, at the time, you had RCW, APW. When BPW ended a bit too early, right? Um, but now, like, the problem is clean in general. I think what's happening now is that because there's so many feds around, because even if they're not like the number one fed, for example, there's still a lot of feds around. And let's say, for example, you guys probably might have experience of going to a show for like 3-4 hours waiting for a 3-minute match,
Yeah,
and you're gonna do that 4 times a week. Who's gonna do that? Who wants to do that 4 times a week when you can go to animated, and animated's whole idea of it is entertainment, where they're like their matches are scripted, so you don't even have to like pretty much, you know, competitively train. You gotta just have fun, have ideas, be creative. You get rewarded for being creative there as well. And that's the problem right now, is that you're not people are not getting back what they're giving in clean. Do you understand what I mean? Like
yeah,
putting a lot of effort in, not getting anything back. WWE for 5 months. I'm obviously WWE is a great fed, and it was the number one fed for like a whole year. But WWE for 5 months just relied on bringing back old timers, and like Cole Owens, Rosie, JC3, so many other old guys. And imagine, although those are really good returns, imagine how people in the undercard feel. Imagine people like EJ Cole. Imagine people like, you know, a lot of people that are like should be in the well, in their head should be in the world title scene. People that are in the quote. I'm not saying like the prime, like as in like they're winning world titles, but you know what I mean by prime of their career.
yeah, yeah,
The work mode of their career. They're looking at me like, so no matter what I do, I'm not gonna get a world title shot because you you value moments better than than the hours that I put in. And even if like for example you do have a title like the IC title or the United States title, it's just a placeholder. I don't like you view it as like a, oh, I'm the US champion right now. I'm just gonna hold this, and when I lose I'm gonna go for the world. That's what I'm telling you right now. If you would have top three quotes in wrestling, one of them would be, "Oh, I lost the U.S. title last week. I'm gonna go for world now." That's probably a quote that's been said like a billion times. So to me, it's about the time you put in and what you get back. With Showtime, you're gonna have to only like go to 2 shows, and you're getting a lot back. So that's why I think wrestling's format needs to change to like you don't gotta wrestle every week, or like for example, feds don't need to do a pay per view every fucking month. Let's be honest. Like no fed needs to do a pay per view every month, because I can assure you, some fed owners just do a pay per view just to just to get something on there. So you gotta think about that. I think clean needs to people that are owning a fed in clean. They gotta think about stuff like that. They gotta be a bit smart. They gotta be efficient. That's the word, efficient. If they're not efficient, then it's just gonna be the whole same old thing. And stuff like CCWs, CCWs event? that thing got more. The Boss Raimundo's one. That thing, like, that thing was hype because it was a part-time event. It was a one-time event. Same with Showtime. Why the hell did Showtime get 70 likes? Like Showtime outdid WWE SummerSlam post. WWE was active back then. Why did Showtime outdo it? You know what I mean? People look for like the one time, the part time, the wow, we put all your eggs in one basket. That's all you gotta do. Put all your eggs in one basket. Don't week in, week out. Imagine if Federers worked on a pay-per-view every 2 months. Every 2 months they do a pay-per-view. That's 2 months of them preparing for a pay-per-view instead of 1 month, 4 weeks, planning show after show after show, and then a pay-per-view on top of that. That's a lot of work. Nobody wants to do that. That's a lot of work. So that's why I think pro wrestling going to a part-time based thing, although that's only for like the big feds. The smaller feds need to do weekly shows, obviously, because that's how you build talent. That's how you build names. So that's it depends on the fed. But the big feds, they need to seriously consider how much time they're putting in, how much time they're making their wrestlers put in, and most importantly, the climate we're wrestling right now. You gotta put the quality a bit up, but the quantity a bit down. That's the way I see it. All right, man.
But yeah, thank you, TAMZ King, for coming on to Roblania. Again, it was an honor. Hopefully we get to have you again. And yeah.
Yeah, sure, bro.
Thank you guys for watching. We hope you like and subscribe. Don't forget, you can check us out on Twitter. Also, the Steiner section every weekend. Probably, I don't know, I miss a few sometimes. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour.